Hola, hola Fayetteville, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Claudia Zamora y aquí estoy con ustedes en este día tratando de inspirarlos, de informarles y pues, con algunas propuestas diferentes. Hoy tenemos un invitado muy especial y muy diferente y le queremos dar la bienvenida a Luis Oliveria, nuestro juez. Gracias Luis por estar aquí, mucho gusto. Encantada de tenerte aquí con nosotros.
Thanks.
So I'm going to say this in English because I have it in English, and I want to talk about a little bit of your trajectory. And so Lou Oliveria is a U.S. Army combat veteran, presides over the county's first Veterans Treatment Court, first elected Hispanic judge in North Carolina history, escuchen esto, muy importante, recipient of the Order of the Long-Leaf Pine for over 20 years of service in North Carolina, es un pionero en este lugar, recipient of North Carolina Chief Justice of Supreme Court Commission on Professionalism Award for Meritorious and Extraordinary Service, recipient of Community Involvement Award by the Diamante Arts and Cultural Center, recipient of Campbell University Alumni Service Award. You have so many awards. Extraordinary.
And yes. I love cheesecake. Is that not in there?
It doesn't say.
No, I love cheesecake.
Lo más interesante es que Lou Oliveria tiene una pasión muy grande en ayudar a las personas. Y queremos compartir varias cosas, varios proyectos que él está haciendo, pero queremos involucrar a toda la comunidad. So one of the things that I would like you to tell us a little bit is how you started all this movement in you.
Well, I'm originally from Long Island, New York, and you know, working as a young child and go for different homes, I at one point decided that the military service was for me. You know, it was a hard life in New York, and I felt that that was my route. And so I joined the military at 18, and I wasn't sure if college was for me, as many young adults don't. And so I joined the military, and they trained me in an area which I wasn't familiar. I'm like, we want you to be a counterintelligence agent. I was, well, what's counterintelligence? Well, they taught me, and I went and trained in that, and eventually I got stationed here at Fort Bragg as a young soldier in 1989. And so that's how I got here to Fayetteville, and I served in the military 4 years on active duty, and then another 4 years in a special reserve unit. And I went to the Gulf War as a counterintelligence agent. So, but after that, I got out and I went to school, and that's kind of the beginning of it.
The beginning
of it. I went to undergraduate school at Pembroke State. Back in the day, it was Pembroke State. It's now the UNC Pembroke. Yes. It's a beautiful campus. You should take a visit there. Yes. They've done some great things. And then I worked for a little bit, and eventually I went to law school at Campbell University. I got out of Campbell, prosecuted here in Cumberland County. I was a prosecutor here for several years, and then I got out and I was in private practice for some years. And then I ran for judge 8 years ago, and I won an election. But during that time, my years here, I've been on many boards, and not to name all the boards, rape crisis and other things, but I just felt that if you're part of the community and you want to better it, you should do something. You know, whether it's picking up trash on the side of the streets or volunteering, you know, at a local community center. And so I've tried to be involved in different organizations, the VFW, Rape Crisis, United Way, and so just, you know, things that I believe if you want to do something for your community, there's so many good charities out there. Just find one that you kind of like and donate a little bit of time, and it betters us all. It does.
Yes, and I guess the having that empathy, you know, towards people when you can really be in their shoes, I think that gives you a bigger perspective in cases, right? Because you've been there, you know what it is.
Well, I believe this, but for the grace of God, there go I. You know, and we all have our experiences, whether good or bad. In life, you know, I've gone through some bad experiences with families, and you know, I lost my mom at an early age, and went for different homes. And so, when you go into those experiences, you know, with families dealing with drugs and alcohol, as a young child, I always wondered, you know, why me? But now I think where I'm at in life, you know, what I do on a day-to-day basis in the court system is I see those families that come through from broken homes, or children in DSS court from broken homes, or those struggling from drugs or alcohol. And even I do the Veterans Treatment Court here, the county's first Veterans Treatment Court, And
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
yeah,
program?
Cumberland County is the largest military community in the nation. And we have many of the rapid deployable forces here. We have the Special Forces, we have the 82nd, and the Corps support. So usually when something happens around the world, Fort Bragg, since it's a rapid deployable force, is the first to go. Just like currently, I think we have 3,000 soldiers and airmen, service members that have deployed to the Middle East. And so the Veterans Court here is the first of its county. And what we do is we target those individuals that come into the court system that are there because of PTSD from service-related or drugs or alcohol because of that. And because we have such a large combat forces here. And actually, we have the largest military retiree percentage population in the nation. Wow. So Fayetteville and Cumberland County is the largest military retirees and active duty across the nation. So when those individuals come into the court system because of drugs or alcohol or PTSD related issues as a result of their service-connected service, and they come to the court system, we try to identify them and we put them in Vets Court. And Vets Court is an intensive court. We team up with the VA, so we have a VA representative there. We meet every 2 weeks. We have the prosecutor's office there, we have the public defender's office there, we have probation and parole, we have the county veterans services office there, the VA has a representative there. We also have a mentor corps, which is very unique. What we do is every individual that comes to Veterans Court is paired with a mentor, a volunteer mentor, and someone that's been there with them, you know, and we will pair women mentors with women service members and male mentors with male service members. And so it's an intensive court, and we try
and it's prevention.
It's absolutely prevention.
Right.
And you know, they say, you know, it saves the public money to rehabilitate.
Exactly.
But also saves a person. It saves a person. You know, it's the right thing to do economically, but it's more important the right thing to do spiritually and personally. So that's kind of what we do there. And it's a great, everyone there is their own time, and it's you know, like I said, but for the grace of God, there go I.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's really good. So what are the projects that you're working on? Because I know you are in campaign.
Oh, yeah. Well, I am elected. I'm elected every 4 years.
Right.
The last time I ran 8 years ago, I think we had the second highest tally of any elected official. So I appreciate the public's you know, confidence in me. So I'm up for re-election now. I have a primary on Tuesday, March 3rd. Early voting starts February 13th to February 29th, and then the primary. And so, you know, but I've been active in this community for 15, 20 years, you know, so you don't just see me out during campaign season. And I've been here, and so, but, you know, we were talking earlier about, you know, I remember when Accento Latino was a newspaper, a private newspaper, and me and several, you know, Luis Colasso and some other community members who have been here forever were on the board. So, you know, I've tried to kind of be in the community, you know, those things that I'm passionate about. You know, I'm passionate about veterans, I'm passionate about, you know, rehabilitation, you know, and juvenile mentoring. You know, my daughter was born premature, and so, you know, going through that experience, you know, and seeing your child in the hospital is very impactful. Yes. And so afterwards, I volunteered at the March of Dimes for premature babies. So, you know, you see something that impacts you, you know, and you can make, believe it or not, you can make a difference. A little bit of time, it doesn't take resources or anything, but it takes your time. And so I've tried to find those things that have impacted my life and give my time to make a difference.
So you have the reasons why.
We all have reasons.
So
we all have the reasons why. I mean,
exactly.
No one has a perfect life, and everyone has gone through their ups and downs.
Yes.
But you know, we try to, you know, to take those experiences and kind of maybe help someone else or help the large. You know, I think if you help one person, you know, when you can, you never know when you need the help yourself.
Yes, definitely. Integration.
Absolutely.
Y además el hecho de que él sea hispano también nos ayuda, nos da un support para aprender un poco más sobre las leyes. A veces los hispanos nos quedamos un poco retraídos, nos da un poco de miedo, el tema del sistema de la corte nos da miedo. y tener una persona que nos represente en nuestro idioma creo que es fundamental, es muy importante, y realmente te doy las gracias, Lu, porque es muy bueno ese trabajo de poder darle el soporte a la gente latina, ¿no? Así que excelente. Un mensaje que quisieras transmitir a nuestra comunidad, which is the message that you would like to give our community about the future, or the possible future?
You know, one thing, you know, like I said, there are a lot of passions I have, you know, of course, you know, veterans and of course, you know, rehabilitation and mentoring, you know, but like, you know, your program, it provides a message not only for the Hispanic community, which we have been a part of, but it's interesting to see how that community, you know, and I'm sure people know, like the Hispanic community is not just from Mexico. We're from Mexico and Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, and Argentina, South America, right. Spain, yes. You know, and it's the largest minority community in the nation with a great amount of purchasing power. Yes. But besides all those things that we said, it's just a passionate, loving community. And it's good to see. I was in court today, and one of the attorneys were telling me about this new restaurant they went to, and they were telling me it's a Spanish restaurant. And they were telling me, wow, the food's really good. I'm like, yeah, I grew up on that food. So it's good to see.
Arroz con pollo.
Arroz con pollo, arroz con gandules, acapulco, rellena de papa. So, you know, it's good to see, you know, people experiencing our culture that we're used to growing up to. Yes. And so, and Fayetteville and Fort Bragg is a unique community because the services here, the armed forces, brings people from Europe, Asia, South America, and so it truly is, when you talk about the melting pot of America, Fayetteville and Cumberland County is, because you have
big
service
representative.
Everybody. So, you know, you can see all these different cultures, you know, Greek and Hispanic and yes. You know, all these other cultures that you can go to. And so it does my heart proud to see the culture I grew up in, you know, emerging in our community, and you know, people not just recognizing it, you know, but experiencing and enjoying something we have both enjoyed. So, you know, besides seeing that is making me proud, and proud to see where I come from. But it seems it merges and melds our community, and I like to see where our community has come from. I've been here for 30-something years, and our community has blossomed. And it has blossomed because people try to make a difference.
Make it better.
And it's good to see everyone making a difference. It's good to see people coming together, you know, and it's good to see people eating arroz con gandules.
Seguro, y el cafecito también.
Sí, el cafecito y pan.
Está bueno, sí. Hay mucho material humano en esta ciudad. Hay un material humano muy bonito, muy lindo. Y los líderes, el trabajo de los líderes es muy importante, porque a veces la gente quiere ayudar, pero no sabe cómo. Entonces ahí están los líderes que nos pueden ayudar y proporcionarnos una forma diferente de ser voluntarios en diferentes organizaciones, ¿no? Bueno, Luis, te deseamos lo mejor. We hope you all the very best. And thank you so much for coming over, helping our community, being always ready to volunteer, and leaving a legacy for our children too, you know, because they need to learn from
That's right.
from us. So thank you so much. Y le queremos agradecer a todos ustedes, nuestros oyentes hispanos parlantes, por escucharnos. Por favor, síganos en social media. Verifiquen la página de Lu. Tú tienes tu página web,
Judge Lou
Olivera
en Facebook.
At Facebook. Y pueden ver también toda su trayectoria y en todos los proyectos que estuvo trabajando. Es increíble, fascinante. Muchísimas gracias, síganos, hasta la próxima y eso es todo por hoy. Gracias.
¿De qué?
Gracias.